That is the motion that I move. Is there a second to my motion?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. We'll vote as the roll is called.
And that is to accept.
Yes, yes, I move to accept this.
Dr. Ketchel,
Yes,
Mr. Van Willen,
Yes.
Ms. Gaines. Yes.
so ordered by action of the board. Boy, next time I'm gonna bring a water with me.
I'm sorry.
That's not your problem.
But they're probably older than him.
Yeah. Let's not worry about it today, see if I can get through it. Board, as you'll notice, we only have one protest item today, so that's what we're going to next. That is protest number 0907, Kevin and Dahlia O'Hara. It's a residential protest. I have before me your official filed written protest, and I'm going to read a little bit of it in. And then after that, I'll give you a chance to add anything you want for the board.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. The assessor's previous value on this was 201,886. They are proposing to leave it at that current value. It is located at 11202 South 108th East Avenue in Bixby. And in their written protest to us today, board, they're saying that they believe for the following reasons, the corrected value should be placed at 170,000 to 175,000. The house was listed for sale in 2015 at 185,000, showing the realtor's feedback. Obsolete master bath, obsolete kitchen, tile floor on the main level, very undesirable pattern. Handrail for mail, main stairs too loose, dated carpet on stairs and upstairs rooms. The only offer came from an investor who would pay the 170,000, but wanted 60 days to close and permission to physically update all rooms. As I understand, you attached to this some documents that indicated estimates you had for those improvements. Is that correct?
Yes, prior to getting this notice of this hearing,
Okay.
we were routinely having contractors come in and give us
Yeah.
bids.
Now, can you guys hear him okay, or do we want to have him get closer? Are you okay on that? I'm okay. I'm fine. Okay. Please now go ahead and talk about your property and anything else other than what is in writing.
My name is Kevin O'Hara. Just full disclosure, my wife does work for the county assessor's office. Ellie O'Hara. But anyway, we received several bids through the years for contractors to do work that was indicated after our sale that needed to be done in order to make our property sellable, marketable, at whatever the price was.
I think you have to turn it on.
I thought it did.
Doesn't have a switch on it.
Yeah, I turned it on.
Is that on? Is that on? I hit a lot.
Yeah.
That works.
Well, and this mic's picking you up. I think we can hear
We're fine.
you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the offer. So anyway, to pick up where we left off, we did list the house in 2015 with a realtor full listing. And we had very little traffic. We did full advertising and things. We found that the model house that we have was getting, at that time, approximately $200,000 in its completed condition. Some of the other homes that sold at that time were completely refurbished on the inside, so ours was not. So at 185, we had no offers, very few people looked. We dropped the price $5,000 to 180. We still had no people come in and make any kind of offers other than the one I indicated from an investor. We had another investor say, I would make an offer, but you'd be insulted by the amount that I would offer. And I told my realtor, well, call him and try it, see what happens. So anyway, we had one family come in and look, and they only said that things were obsolete, the pattern wasn't good. Floor was described as too busy and things like that. We had kids at the time and a lot of family members, so the floor for us was fine, it's very durable. It just isn't appealing. So as far as marketing the house, we'd have to spend $20,000 to $30,000 to update the bathroom and the kitchen, and fixtures were involved, and buttressing the staircase handrail or replacing it, and also carpets through the stairs and upstairs. They were all indicated as being worn and obsolete. It's always the word that was used. So this house, two people that would buy it is $170,000 now in this market, maybe 160 even or 150, because they all know they're going to come in and do pretty much a refurbish of the entire inside. So that's all we wanted to reflect. We did get a contractor who indicated that they thought they could do the kitchen and the bathroom for approximately $20,500. That includes one floor covering. We were given by Ronco, who came in and they wouldn't give us a written offer, but they gave us a spreadsheet, this cost value that they had indicated that in Oklahoma, we're looking at roughly the bathroom is $20,000, the kitchen would be $15,000 to $18,000, replacing the floors and the carpets would be another $20,000. So if our house is to sell for 205, or if that is the value that we're indicating here, we'd have to spend a lot of money to achieve it. It was already tested in the marketplace. So that's just our contention. I mean, with appraisals of property, I mean, realistically, it's 170 or 175 like it was last year.
Have you, since that initial listing, have you more recent time tried to list it?
I've had a realtor come in and they did a walkthrough in 2018. We got pretty much the same feedback. There really wasn't a lot to change. They believe the area is great, the school district's wonderful, but when people get into the specific house, then that's where we start having problems with people agreeing with our values.
Did you, I know you mentioned that some of your neighbors have updated and have gotten to a higher state of the real estate worth. Did the assessor staff talk to you through the spreadsheet they're going
No.
to show us?
No. But I can tell you that house 4 doors down, 11214 South 118th Avenue, is our model, and it's within 50 square feet of the size of our house.
Yeah.
And if you were to pull up Zillow and look at the interior pictures, they had upgrades and they've got things taken care of over the years. Their sales price and closing price was $205,000. That was September of 2020. Another house, 2 or 3 doors past that, exact same model, 2-car garage. They sold their house for $196,000 20 months ago. And they did upgrade their master bathroom to some degree. And they had newer carpets and things like that. So they had spent the money in the areas that have been indicated to us by potential customers what needed to be done. And they got a price that would reflect it.
Do you yourself have any intention or need to update accordingly?
At the moment, everything works in our house. It's just older. That's the way we want it. And again, I'm looking for people that will make those upgrades.
Sure.
But we just haven't found somebody yet with money. The lowest bid that we had to get all the work done, it's a father and son company, and it would have taken about a month to get everything taken care of. The other 2 larger companies would get it done in about a week. That would be full crews and it would be more residential.
All right, any other questions by other members of the board?
Don't know if it's a question or maybe a comment.
Sure.
Your address is 108.
No, I'm at 11202 South 108 East Avenue.
And the comparables that the assessor has given us, there's 11214 South 108, 11302 South 108. Those sound like houses right next door or on the
Yeah,
same
they're
block.
within 8 doors of ours.
Okay. And the comparables that I'm looking at, those, one of the house at 11214 South 108 is, assessor shows that there's 8603 a foot. And there's one at 8638 a foot. And yours calculates out, using the assessor's numbers, 8739 a foot. In other words, put a hat over all of it. So pretty tight. So,
But our point, just to reiterate, if you just take the general increase of real estate in Tulsa, which has been going pretty good for the last several years, $86, $87, $88 a square foot is very reasonable price. But when you get into the specific properties, if you start comparing actual rooms to rooms, if you check these other two homes, our neighbors, at 11214 and 11302, you'll find that conditions inside their house they're better repaired. They have more modern patterns in their carpets, and their appliances are more modern. Fixtures are more modern, things like that. We just haven't done the updates since the original builders.
and those two houses are $86 a foot.
Yes.
Then there's two other comparables, at least on the list that's been comparable, is $104. And on the same address, 11306, it sounds like they're down the street or right down the
Well,
block.
actually,
So what's the difference in those at $100?
for the realtors that we had in the house, for the realtors that came in and made listing offers, in our neighborhood, Shannondale, the discrepancy is that the type of house we have, a story and a half, front to back, 2-story house, roughly 2,300 square feet to 2,400 square feet. That model tends to not grade out as high as the smaller homes in the area, which is why you'll see a lot of properties around us that sell for 111,000 square, or excuse me, 111,000, 108, 110,000 square feet, because it's got something to do with the way people perceive the properties and the homes. And that's how the marketing is helping people with smaller houses at a larger per square footage price. And that's fairly consistent because our model always tends to grade out lower than our neighbors' homes.
Well, one last question. There's one house at 11306 and 11330. I assume they're just on down the block.
Yeah.
But those price out are assessed out at $104. Two of them are at $86. But yours at $87. So,
But the homes that are $86 a square foot that actually sold, people paid money for them. They were updated homes. They had the newer carpets, kitchens had been remodeled, bathrooms had been remodeled, fixtures had been updated, things like that, which got them a sales price that generated $86 a square foot. Where our contention is, if we were to try to sell our home for $86 a square foot, we would be rebuffed on that. We would be told it's more like a $75 a square foot house. And we actually did put that to practice when we did list the house, and we really got no action on it.
Ruth, do you have any question or comment?
I'm the only excuse me.
oops, I was.
The question that I would have, you indicated in your reason that at some point you did put the house up for sale
In
And the
2000
lowest offer was 170,000 as is.
No, actually, they wanted a contingency clause to have full access to the house and make repairs. They
But
wanted
still-
permission to come in and spend a lot of money on our house. You know,
But still,
Friday-
they would sell it for the one, you would sell it for the 170.
yeah, they'd go sell it for 205 and they'd give us 107.
So they were gonna do the improvements that would bring it up to the 86 per square foot. Were you gonna sell the house then? You said now that's the value you're looking for. Is the house for sale now or?
No, it isn't.
Would you,
Yeah, we haven't done any of these, updates yet. The house is still in the same condition it was when we tried to sell it at 250.
so you don't plan to do the updates at
I-
this point because you say you're comfortable?
Yeah, we're fine. Everything works, like I said. It's just, we're not looking to market the house yet. But if we were to put it on the market, the value of the home would be driven down because of the condition of the inside.
But I guess my question is, when you did put it on the market, you found that the value was less than what you expected.
Yes,
But they wanted to go ahead, give you the 170, they would pay for the upgrade. But you did not want to do that, thinking you would what?
well, they were gonna basically ask us to leave the house for 60 days while they did whatever repairs that they wanted to. And, I guess cut us in for a slice of the action later. That was their investor offer. So we were asking for cash, just, whenever the closing was, that was gonna be the price of the property at the time. But they had a lot of strings attached to get a price that was $15,000 lower than our original list price. Which I didn't think was a good deal for our family, because we still had kids in the house at the time.
Gotcha, thank you.
Charles, was there something else you were working on figures?
Yeah, one last comment. The house at 11306 and 11330. Those houses assessed out at $104. And the other two on the comparable list and yours, or the other two are $86. And yours at $87. So looks like there's two groupings of houses there. What causes those?
If you'll notice, the square footage totals should be around 1,500 square feet, 1,600 square feet for the properties that are indicating 104 square foot or so. Those are different models entirely.
No, they're showing the same model. Actually, are you in a 1.5 story?
Yes, ours is a
Okay, all the
23.
ones they're showing us are 1.5 stories finished out with brick siding.
Yeah, they're much smaller layouts, smaller.
Well, the layouts they're showing us range from 2383 to the low 2162 square foot.
The 2383, that would be a house similar, I believe that's the one at 11214. Did sell for 205, and then another house that sold for 106.
Yeah.
Was 2,300 and I want to say 50 and off the top of my head. Ours is 2,350.
It was 2269,
Okay.
23.
There are 3 different models of homes or 4 different models.
Here's what, where the assessors all, I don't, do we have an, oh, we do. Did you want to speak to that? Oh, you wanted to speak. I'm coming back. This is the first one, you're the guinea pig. And I was on procedure. Yes, we will now hear from the assessors.
Deidre Carlisle, the assessor. First, we did not conduct an informal hearing, because Dahlia works for our office, so that is the policy that it goes straight to.
Sure.
Okay. Our argument for the case is that, as Mr. Vanderwell has noted, that, we do have the range in there. What we were assuming is that the ones that have sold for the $86 a square foot, which is basically what they're at, are the ones that maybe had not had as many updates. The ones that sold for higher obviously probably had been, completely redone. if you're aware of the market today, it's going crazy. Things are selling like hotcakes, things are selling for over asking price, selling in 1 or 2 days' time. So, when we were out there for our visual inspection, they raised the entire neighborhood. So that's why they had received the large jump.
So what you're suggesting is that the trending up that you guys do, the last time they really had it on the market was 2015, so that's 5 years ago. We did a visual inspection last year, 2020. Yeah. So that's one of the big differences, and that was what came to my mind anyway when I was at that. Anything else you need to add, Don?
Usually we get that sheet from the assessor's office that tells us what it was last year. What was the amount last year?
It was
You don't mean this, do you?
No.
it was 175,000.
175, so it was raised this year?
Yes,
To the 201.
201,886, yes.
Yes, because usually it's on this spreadsheet.
It's usually a little green and white sheet. I need the
Oh,
name of that.
It doesn't print that.
Oh, okay.
It's not green anymore. It's not green.
Is it white now?
It's white, yes.
Anyway, spread the word that we need to see
Okay.
those, so it helps us because then we know kind of
Unless
what's
it's not green, not green water.
What
It
is the name
seems
of
to
the
me
report?
that there's, on that list, there's 2 comparables at $86.
Right.
And 2 at $104. They're within spitting distance of each
Right.
other. That's a technical.
Yeah, CPAs.
I grew up in Arkansas. So what is the disparity there? Are the first 2 on that list going to be in for a surprise here on these days?
We can just only assume that maybe they weren't as updated as the other ones.
Well, the house under question is at 8739.
Right. So they're at the bottom of the market.
Could you tell me what you have the land value on? That was the other thing that I was curious about.
They're all ranging from about 23.9 to 25.
Okay.
They're within $1,200 of each other.
Okay. Okay, as I look through this, and also, as you suggested, you guys are in the process of trending this up because of your visual inspection that happened 5 years after he was on the market. It does seem to me that we need board to adjust this upward some from what he's suggesting. These are all recent sales, that is, the deed dates are all 2019 and 2020. So that's a long time from when the last time you had a chance to check the fair market to see. I'm inclined to give him a little bit of a break from where they ended up, but I would just like to line it up with that one that is on for 8638, and therefore take the value down roughly to 196. I'm sorry, take it up to, well, up, what was last year again?
175.
Yeah, so it's a big jump. But that's the only way I can see to get it in the trending that they're doing with the neighborhood. Since we end up having to be an equalization board, and not just try to give some to individual things. The only other thing I wanted us to consider is whether you thought if we went with 196, we still needed to give them some kind of cost of cure. So I'm kind of bouncing around between 185 up to the amount that I just proposed, the 196. Any other idea? Have a 196, I think at the square footage, I was reason to ask, it's roughly the same. This property, 2310 should come in around that same number. What did you get? That was 80. Oh, if it was 196, it'd be 84, is that what you're saying?
And
2310.
that would be 84,
So it's still not catching up fully with the ones that are at 86. But how do you guys feel? What do you think?
I had written 190.
Okay, and Charles, settle the issue for us.
As usual, Ruth is copying.
And she got me
And I think
got
you're
her
right.
eyesight.
I had one.
You had 192. It looks like we've got two of the group who came up with the same number, and mine was to split the difference. So I think that's a fair assessment, given the trending in the neighborhood. Does someone want to make that motion?
I move we set the fair market value at $190,000.
I second
It's been moved and seconded to set it to $190,000. We'll vote as the roll is called to adjust that to the fair market value.
Dr. Ketchum,
Yes,
Mr. Van Willen,
that. Yes.
Ms. Gaines,
Yes,
thank you all for coming in and presenting. We try to adjust things as we go along between the individual person at the assessor's office, or you have a unique insight. So, thank you. Is there other matter to come before the board today? I see nothing. You're welcome. I ask for a move to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We'll vote as the roll is called.
Dr. Ketchum,
Yes.
Mr. Van Willen,
Yes.
Ms. Gaines.
Yes. Yes, say you are adjourned.
Oh, we are adjourned.
He's just tormenting us.